Hi everyone, welcome back to the Live to Inspire podcast. Yours truly, Dave Coleman, and this is episode 20. I genuinely cannot believe I've come this far. Mind's blown. Before I dive into the episode, I would ask if you are a regular listener or even if it's your first time, if you could just, subscribe or even leave a comment or a rating. Just helps me to track the area, shall we say, that it's being covered, and so I can work out who's listening and all those sort of fun kind of analytics. Just, I suppose it's for my idle curiosity, really. So that'd be much, much appreciated. That aside, this episode, I confess I wrote this at about 1 a.m. Last weekend. I do apologise for those of you that are regular listeners. Just been caught up with life. Things have been going on, making changes, all sorts of stuff happening. So played rugby in some very, very, very hot weather. It was tough. We did get the win, so that was good. That was last weekend. But it was off the back of that. I came home, obviously absolutely exhausted. Suffered a little bit from the post-exercise insomnia, so absolutely exhausted. Got into bed, fell asleep for about 4 or 5 hours, and then was just bolt upright. I think I washed the dishes, walked around the flat for a little bit, and wrote this. So the title of this episode, for me personally, is called Having a Wobble, which I guess I'm sure we can all relate to in different contexts and in different extremes. It can be a small wobble. We all have small wobbles, and potentially we all could have a big wobble. So like I said, we had a match on Saturday. I worked in the morning and then went straight from work straight to the match, the rugby club. And yeah, like I said, we played the match. But for me, backtrack sort of 48 hours, on the Thursday night, I very, very nearly checked out, and nearly sort of messaged the coaches and said, you know what, I just can't play. I was scared. I was having a wobble, and I just wanted to stay at home. I just wanted to hide. Saturday, whatever day the match would have been at that time, at that point, my mindset was not where it needed to be. It wasn't conducive for playing rugby. It wasn't conducive with any sort of social interactions, and I just wanted to hide. So I slept on it. And I listened to my own advice. You can't preach and not action what you're saying. It's not a sort of case as do as I say but not as I do. So I listened to my own advice, and I thought, you know what's the worst that's going to happen, right? Dr. Pepper. So I took a chance. I thought to myself, you know what, there's an opportunity here. There's an opportunity that I could be successful. There's an opportunity to meet other people and potentially go out and do something amazing. And if I don't do that, then I will have missed the opportunity, and that potentially would have been a regret for me. So I slept on it, and like I said, I did go and play rugby, and I did go and do the match. And the reason being, really, apart from the opportunities, it made me think. Okay, I heard this on, can't remember where it was. I was at TikTok. And this person said, the man who loves walking will always walk further than the man who loves the destination. Obviously, man is interchangeable, but it's a really, really interesting concept, right? Like, if you just focus, if you're destination focused, I said this on a post I put out on Instagram the other day. If you're solely destination focused, you'll get there, and then what do you do? Like, after you've reached your destination, you've hit your goal, you've achieved, you've succeeded, you've set out and you've accomplished what you set out to, what's next? And that is one of the final chapter in my book, Mind the Gap. what do you do next? So to develop oneself and to help with avoiding the sort of post-success depression, shall we say, it's about the journey, right? And that's what this saying is all about. If you love walking, you will get there, and you'll always walk further because you will just keep going. Like, you know, you reached a marker, a distance, a target, a goal, and that's amazing. And you can embrace that, and then you will continue to carry on walking because you love that journey. You love the journey that you are on of whatever it is. It links back to, I think I mentioned it in a previous episode 19, where the horse, the boy, the fox and the mole, I think it is. Don't quote me on that, but effectively the horse and the boy are stuck in a wood, and the boy was really, really scared, just couldn't see his way out of the woods, and didn't really know what to do, and just kind of froze. So explained that to the horse, and the horse said to him, can you see your next step? And he said, yeah. And he said, well, just take that. And that for me is the epitome of it. Just take the next step. It doesn't have to be a big one. Small steps, as we know, 1%, marginal gains. Keep taking those little steps forward, and you'll find your way out. You'll find your way onto the path, the journey, rather than searching for the exit or the goal. So having that wobble on Thursday night, effectively, I had some self-talk, and I said to myself, you know what, the brain will always give up before the body does. It's as simple as that. My brain was just going into meltdown. It just wanted to hide, protect itself, and that was it. And then the actual reality is that you are capable of more than you realise. So don't let your brain, or even for that matter, other people steal your dreams. Like, if you want to go and do something, more for you, more power to you. Go and do it. Go and do it. Don't wait for something. Go out and do it. Take that first step. Embrace it. Like I've done with this podcast. I have no idea when I set out on this journey about who would listen to it, if it would get any traction, if anyone, even on the island of Bahrain, if anyone around here would listen to it, let alone Australia, Maldives, Tunisia, Australia, whatever. It's all over the world, and I genuinely can't believe that people listen to it. So take the first step, make a start on the journey. Don't wait. Get involved and start that journey. Again, I apologise, it's sort of a bit of an ramble, as always, with the podcast. And I did write this at 1 a.m. So if you haven't listened to this guy, Eric Thomas, look him up on YouTube. He's on Spotify and stuff as well. Really interesting kind of guy. And there's a really good video, I used to listen to it quite a lot, about this guy who wanted to be successful. And the long story short is, he said, when you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, then you'll be successful. You have to live, eat, sleep, breathe, whatever it is that your journey is, you have to do that in order to be successful at it. And with that, success means different things to different people, right? So it is the law of zero. What you perceive as success is completely different to what other people perceive as success. I think I mentioned previously that I've been called hyper successful in the past by some people. To me, I can't even get my head around that. I look at other people, as one does, and I see that they have partners, husbands, wives, kids, really nice families, good jobs, just generally really, really nice people as well. And to me, I look at that as a huge aspirational target for me personally. But then the flip side is that they may look at what I've done in my life and be like, that's unbelievable, that's totally unattainable for me. And, they might class what I've done as a success. So bear in mind when you're talking to other people that they will have different perspectives and perceptions as to what success is to them and what success is to you. So where possible, try to refrain from comparing yourself to others, because it's a dangerous road that can lead to anxieties as well. So what have I put here? The reason I bring this up is because I always want to achieve through helping others. This allows me to help myself, but also being the best version of myself. So I personally feel I cannot help other people unless I am in a good place. So where I didn't record an episode last week, I wasn't in the best possible place for myself, and in turn not a good place to disseminate information to you, and I wouldn't want to do you guys a disservice. So to keep myself in my best possible place and the best version of myself will then, I believe, help me to help you. If I haven't given everything, then personally, I don't feel I have succeeded. I don't feel like I've given 100%, therefore there's something lacking and I've missed something. So that's my personal view. Taking that forward, during this rugby match, the coach said to me, we've got some guys recording it today, we're going to do some statistics and all that kind of jazz. We played 4 20-minute quarters, far too hot to be playing 2 40-minute halves. It was 35 degrees, and the coach said to me, empty the tank in 40 minutes. And I thought, right, you know what? I've been given my target there. I'm going to leave absolutely everything. I need to be crawling off of that pitch, in 40 minutes time. And that's exactly what I did. And then I was on the bench for the third quarter. And then the last quarter, they said, right, Dave, you good for another 10, yeah? And I was like, I have got nothing left. There's literally nothing more I could have done. So from that point of view, personally, it was a successful game. I attempted to cool myself with cold water and hydrate as best I could. But yeah, I still couldn't cool myself down. I couldn't get air in my lungs. I felt like I was having a panic attack. And then it was at that point, I went and saw some of the medical guys there, and they said that it's potentially exercise-induced asthma. Now, I appreciate the air quality out here isn't the best because of the sand and the dust, etc. But even still, I work tirelessly outside of training. I'm in the gym, I'm running 3Ks, sometimes even a 5K. Never thought I'd do that. But just to try and get myself in the best possible condition physically, for my own health. So I was genuinely really upset that I might have exercise-induced asthma. I know that sounds weird, but I don't know, I just sort of thought I was fitter and I didn't think there was anything wrong. But I now take that information and I think, you know what, if I do have exercise-induced asthma, then that is a potential solution to the problem of not being able to breathe, potential panic attacks, tight chests. Will that help me with my training? Yeah, if I can go to the hospital or the doctor and say, I think I've got this, please can you help me, or what do I need to take, what do I need to do? I've now got a solution to the problem, and as a result, I will then become another better version of myself than where I'm at the moment. So go right back to where I started. Keep taking those little steps. If you can see that first step in front of you, you take that step. And then you take the next one. I'm taking that step and I'm getting medical advice, medical support, so I can be in the best version of myself. So, in essence, if I had have taken the easy option, which in life, personally, I've always found is always there, it's very easy to find the negatives. If someone said, or if I asked you, what do you like about yourself? You might struggle. Whereas if I said, what don't you like about yourself? Very easy. The easy options are always there. Now, I'm not saying make things difficult for yourself, but without challenge, there's no growth. You're not going to develop. So I could have texted the coach and say I couldn't play, but the reason being was none other than I was just having a wobble, and I know my own self, and that actually, get a grip, Dave. You're better than this, and there's more you can offer. So with that, I wouldn't have gone to the game, and then the result of that is that I wouldn't have helped the team and helped myself. I wouldn't know about exercise-induced asthma. I wouldn't have been successful in my journey to help others and myself. So there's always a positive to be found, whether it be internally, externally. You might inspire or motivate someone else. You might make a new friend, connect with people on a different level. The list is endless, absolutely endless. So I think it was Oprah Winfrey, one of her sayings, 2 words, very powerful, very effective: dare greatly. It's as simple as that. Dare greatly. Take back control of your brain and see what you can get you to do. Okay, dare greatly. Believe me, that's what I did. That was then my mindset going into the match, being selected. I then started as starting 15. Every time someone says you're in the starting 15, it blows my mind. So dare greatly. Believe in yourself. And like I said, I wrote most of this at 1 a.m. Don't ask me how my brain's still working at that sort of time. But all these thoughts and ideas were a brain dump, and I just write them down on my phone on the notes. I was chatting with one person today, and they said they just pen and paper, they write stuff down on there in their little notebook and stuff. However, whatever, if it helps you, I fully recommend you do it. It's a very, very powerful tool, because when you wake up in the morning and you read your notes, and you can turn it into a podcast, you'll be amazed at how sometimes your brain works. Obviously I had a mild caffeine crash, I've written here. My body's empty, but my brain won't switch off. And yes, I appreciate the irony of this. So having a wobble at 1 a.m. as well. So yeah, guys, just remember, right? It's always good to talk. It's good to check in with people. We will get there. We will get there. If not immediately, eventually.